Not looking forward to this. Just gotta power through Beastmakers, and then I can get to the final world of the game, actually. We are almost done, believe it or not. But we gotta slog through the swamp with chickens! Because, you know, when I think of a swamp, I think of chickens. Totally. Now, don't jump into there, that will hurt you. Oh, we got electrical ones for this. And now, I find this music interesting. Because this music track sounds very similar to Breeze Harbor in Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage. And you can tell in certain of the tracks that they had inspiration for it. Another one was the Ice Cavern. Actually, in certain points of it, reminded me a lot of Ripto's theme from the second game as well. Which is something I like. I like it when sound composers use little, like, cues and everything that have hints from their previous work. I think Soichi Terada is a good example of that in Big Mission, that's for sure. Which I will get to eventually, but for right now, let's talk to Bruno. Wait.
Nasty Nork is turning our swamp into an electrified junk heap. And it used to be so beautiful.
I'm sure it was.
Well, I'm sure this lovely swamp was, you know, something better than a swamp. And, oh, jeez, it's gonna blow. Which is why I went into the water. Oh, I thought it would have blown up the other ones. I guess I'm used to the... See, it blows up for the two for there. I think that they might have just not placed them close enough to each other, but die. Mmm, boar. Delicious. I've never actually had boar before. I don't exactly know how it tastes. Well, no, hold on. Have I had boar before? God, it really is getting late, because now I'm starting to get into the delirious talk when I talk about food and weird things and whether I've had it or not. Yeesh. In the meantime, let us continue grabbing all of the gems. I'm going to have to do some precision platforming for some of these gems later on. And I believe there's... You can't get to those stumps out there. I think I've tried beforehand. Alright, treetops. Oh, boy. I'll deal with you later. Ooh, I hate treetops so much. I just hate treetops for the simple fact of what I have to deal with it inside there. I don't know. I guess I just hate the mere mention of it. Whoop. Let's turn and go into this area to where we're almost to the end. There's another life for me. Now, those things don't respawn, so you cannot grind those, unfortunately. Like I had misremembered. So, yeah, those lives took me a while to get. In the meantime, boom. And let's wait for him to electrify it again, because I don't trust him. And there we go. And bop. Goes the weasel. Oh, I see you. Bop. And here we actually are at the next one. Wait, no. I was mistaken. We don't have... This isn't the second to the last world. There's a world after this. I forgot about Dreamweavers. How could I forget about Dreamweavers? That's where I encountered my first major screw-up in Let's Playing. But I will get into that story when I get into Dreamweavers, since I think that's appropriate for Dreamweavers in general, as well as, you know, footage from that. But, oh well. So in the meantime, let's continue getting all of the gems around here. I think... No, there's nothing right there. I know that there's some at, like, the base of the pyramid that causes you to have to go through the entire level again. And I hate it when games do that. But the boss is right here, so we already have access to that. So let's talk to Cray, the balloonist. I feel sorry for all those dragons still trapped in Crystal. Maybe once you rescue 50 dragons, then I'll feel a little better. Why don't you just stop standing there and do it yourself? Fine, I'll go and do it. Alright, so we need to go and fly to that key. I need that key. I want the key. Key. Give me the key! I'm not going to make it! I barely made that! So, there we go, that's the key, and... Jump over this way. Nope. There we go. Managed to jump out of that. Alright, and now comes the fun part in which you have to time it just right at the top of your jump, because otherwise that happens. Which I'm just going to end up just getting myself killed. If you don't jump out of it soon enough, then you'll end up dying, which is a pain, but I'm not too concerned about it, because I'd rather, you know, come back all the way to the end of this stage right over here with all the, you know, boars being respawned, not being able to go and get the treasure or anything. I still have the key, luckily, but let's free this dragon, Cletus!
Spyro, it's great to see you, but I've got to go.
He looks so inquisitive. Like, what is with that pose for that? That does not match the dialogue at all. It's like, Spyro, it's so good to see you, but I've got to go. It sounds like he's purposely trying to avoid Spyro. Or that, I don't know. He's just trying to think up of a better excuse, but he just can't think of one. So he's like, okay, I've got to go. Oh, wasn't expecting that, Bort. Surprise, Bort. Got me hit, so it died and gave me gems. Yay! Right, now let's jump inside here, because I believe there's another dragon inside here. And it should be the last dragon. This area. No, there isn't a dragon in here, but here we have the Wild Flight Speedway. So, let us go up. And, oh boy, soon I'm going to have to tackle these stages, but for right now, I have to go gem hunting. Which is good, because as long as I can put off treetops, the better. The longer I can put off treetops, the better. Yeah, if I'm not made it clear, I really hate treetops. Like, really with a passion. Like the passion of 1,000 suns. So give me these gems. Right. And going up. And 300 out of 300. Alright, so that means we have all the dragons and we have everything there. So that means I get to start doing the levels. Oh, to joy. Actually, how many dragons? Oh, I have 48 dragons. I'd need 2 more and then I'd be able to go to the next area. I guess that's one way to stop you from, progressing too fast, because I already had, enough dragon eggs to move on. But let's go to the first stage here, which is Terrace Village, which is a stage I don't really mind too much, but then again, I'm not really a big fan of huge swampy areas. I don't know, I think that's really a thing for me with video games in general. I'm not a fan of swamp areas. And here we have Laser Norks. Laser Norks, believe it or not, actually have their own separate voice actors. They're voiced by, I believe, who is it? I believe Tony Salanero is actually the voice actor of the Laser Norks that are here. So yes, Chip before Chip. Isn't that nice? Chip before Chip. Oh well. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Tony Salanero. I just think that really, he's a good voice actor. I just think he was honestly, when it came with Chip for Unleashed, I think he just, was given a badly written character to voice, is the problem. That's usually the problem for most of the time. A lot of the time you can have really good voice actors, but if the characters are terrible or the games they know are terrible, you can end up seeing them not really doing their best. I think one of the best examples is the, who was it? I think Ron Perlman was in the Turok game that was on the PS3 around launch time that was just abysmally bland and terrible, and he really didn't sound like he was having fun at all in that game. I believe it's Ron Perlman. I'll put it on screen if it's not Ron Perlman. But that one sticks into my mind. Whenever a voice actor ends up, getting a role in a game that he's not really a fan of, he ends up, not really doing his best role. And that's what I think Tony Salanero was given with when it came to, Chip. So all in all, what do you take from this? I think Chip is a bad character. There we go. I pretty much agree with the Sonic fanbase. Moving on! So pretty much we are in yet another swampy area. Much like Haiti, only in this case it's more technologically advanced, and I don't hate it as much as Haiti. So that's already got good things going for it. As long as I don't hate it as much as Haiti, then it's already better than Haiti. Well, from Sly Cooper. I don't hate the country. Claude, save me.
Watch out, Spyro. The Norks in these parts have discovered the power of electricity, and it really stings.
They've discovered the power of electricity. Well, that has to be true, seeing as how they're able to electrify stone. Because I did not think that you could do that. Who am I kidding? What do I know? Apparently, Pokemon has taught me nothing. I mean, you can't heat metal either. Apparently, metal is heat resistant as well as fireproof. What do I know about life? What do I know about how conductive properties are? Obviously, nothing. In the meantime, I will just grab these lovely gems that are just scattered all over the floor that I still question why Nasty Nork didn't turn into, you know, more minions. Because, you know, that would have worked. He has the spell. He can easily do it. Right, and there we go. Gotta kill these guys pretty quickly, otherwise you can end up just getting yourself wrecked. I can barely hear the music in this area too. I think, like, I can barely honestly hear the music in this area, and that's always the case for Terrace Village, I find. But let's talk to Cyprin.
Good job, Spyro. One day you'll be able to tell all the dragons about your amazing adventures.
Sure, but what I'd really like to do is get out of this swamp.
And what I'd like you to do is draw me like one of your French girls, is what he's thinking. That's the only reason that I can think for that pose, and whenever I see that pose, it's the first thing that comes to my mind. I watched Titanic too much as a kid. Oh well, in the meantime, let's go and kill the turret Norks, which I honestly find these to be like the most hilarious of the Norks in this game, just because they are literally just a walking turret. They're just a walking turret. That's it. I don't know, there's just something about that I just find hilarious. Now you can't go down there. That green patch looks like it'd be safe to like stand on, like it's grass. That's not. That's death. Death is bad. And that's bad because I missed a gem, and actually I think there's something else over this way. I can really barely hear the music for this, and this actually makes me really depressed because I don't remember what Terrace Village's music was like. Why can't I can't really from my end, I can't hear the music. I don't know if you guys can probably hear it better, and I don't remember if this was a problem in my original playthrough, but it feels like it's a deja vu moment, so I think this might be familiar to me. In the meantime, what's also familiar to me is killing Norks. What I was born to do. This is the only thing I can piece together for that so-called destiny or whatever it is. Ow! I hate these things. Look at him listening to his Sony Walkman. Back when those were a thing. They still sort of are. I think they have them loaded with MP3s nowadays, but I just remember back in the day, I think I was born around the time in which cassette tapes were starting to go down and the CD was riding high. So I still remember seeing like cassette decks and everything all over the place because I remember my parents had some, and heck, my parents had records back when I was a kid. So I've been around a lot of forms of music. As this entire conversation about music just originates from me just seeing the fact that, you know, the Norks that are electrifying stone are, you know... Oh, crud. I tried to fly to the wrong area. That the Norks that are electrifying stone are wearing headphones that I think this is the only stage in which they appear. But, jump at the top of our jump, and there we go. That's what I needed, so let us grab this. Okay, I thought I heard another explosion. Oh, there's a gem down there, isn't there? No, that's a chicken, and the camera is not being my friend in this game. Ugh. It's actually really... Normally I can... In platformers like this, you're able to, like, position the camera in certain ways, and it only at certain points will try to snap back to you. It always, in this game, I have it set to active right now, it will snap back to being to where Spyro... Well, you can't see the front of Spyro, and that's something that really bothers me. I guess they did fix it in the later Spyro games, but man, there's a lot of things I'm not noticing in this game that the later games ended up, you know, improving upon greatly. So thank goodness for them. And also, seriously, I'm getting really confused about the whole music situation on my end, because I know you probably can't hear me, and if there is like very low music for this one, what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to be splicing in some sort of music for it. But right now, it's like all the sound effects are going on, but I can very faintly hear the music. It's weird because I can't hear the music over the sound effects, and given my current setup in the like option setting, you should be able to. Oh well, let's get to the end of the stage now since we're pretty much done with this place. I wasn't paying attention for a second. I almost ended up falling off the edge. That would have been bad. Because, you know, just what I need. More death. It's not like I've died enough in this project. No, no. We must reach the 99 quota. Right, and jump, and not making it. See, I think what annoys me the most about the fact when you don't make jumps like that is the fact that when you bounce high enough to where you would be able to land on it just fine. Like so. You look like when you bounce, you will be able to land on it. And I think that's what annoys me the most about it. So, thank God for them, you know, making that change. Ow. I didn't make it. That hurt. But now we have a bunch of gems around here, so hopefully these are the remaining gems. I don't think they are. I think I'm missing some. Let's see. No, that is 400 out of 400, so we're done. Sweet. No more for Terrace Village. So now we get to go on to the next stage. So, grab all those gems. We have over half of the treasure already, and I believe as of right now, we have 60% because of all the dragons we have. So, let's go on to the next area. Now, to explain a little bit before, because I don't think I really explained as to why the whole music thing. This track for Beastmakers pretty much uses the same sort of like I can't really think of how to describe the sound that the what is it called? That the Breeze Harbor in Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage uses. Right now we're gonna do this Wild Flight one. I'm trying to remember exactly which one it is that gave me the hardest time, and also I encountered the most slowdown in the game. And it was this one. It was this one for sure. This one is, I think, the hardest of them all when it comes to doing these speeds. And this is when you encounter the most slowdown, I think, inside of the PS1 copy of this game. For just no reason. I don't understand why. Right? So, now I'm just gonna... Whoa, that was close. I saved myself on that one. Right? So much slowdown. Just grabbing these things right here because I ended up going out of order, like, really badly with this. So, we need to get the remaining one of these. And that is number 2. So now we need to go and get the chest, which I did out of order. I always fail this one because I do it out of order. And it's honestly my fault for doing that. Right, so let's hit the North Plane. Right? I missed. I am cutting this close. I am cutting this, like, very close. Ah, so close. That was my fault. Because I went out of order badly in that one, unfortunately. The slowdown in this place is terrible. So I'm actually gonna speed this speedway up. Yeah, that's kind of redundant, don't you think? So, speeding up time. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. And my God, I was noticing the slowdown really badly towards the end of that. That was interesting. But there we go. That takes care of this speedway. So, no more for that. So now we get to go on to the next stage. And then we get to save treetops for last.